Today's thrilling episode is brought to you in part by Bludger's Teeth Grit for mouth barnacles.
Have you played the original Bit Trip Runner? This Runner2 review is to remind you that sometimes the gaming world is great. From the fake commercial that started this review to how they progressed the story, it's all done really well. So before we get into the details of the game itself, enjoy the opening story directly from the game.
When last we left Commander Video, his courageous contingent of charismatic compatriots was in hot pursuit of the fiendish Timbletot as they chased him into a realm above realms called the Hypersphere. It is at this moment, as if from nowhere, that a nefarious reality unfusion beam blindsides these five fearless friends. The always imperturbable Commander Video, shielding his elite assemblage of exceptional allies, takes the brunt of the blast and is sucked into an unknown dimension, a land of wondrous imagination found only at the apex of light and matter, a wavelength of the optical spectrum opened by the maniacal Timbletot to trap and enslave our gallant protagonist. Confused and companionless, our hero ponders his current position. The only thing that remains clear to him now is that he has fallen prey to a vulgar scheme full of villainy, which he must vanquish.
That was brilliant. The fiendish Timbletot, Hypersphere, nefarious reality, unfusion beam. Oh man, that last part gets me every time. Runner2 is no cash grab sequel. It has gaming roots in the form of the first Bit Trip Runner game, a marvel of 8-bit mastery. It's great to see they got their money from the first game and then took it and made a game of equal fun, but with updated graphics. It's like a rags to riches video game story, and it's so worth playing. The gameplay is a platform side-scrolling adventure. However, you don't control your character's forward movement at all. Instead, it's a constant controlled speed. What you do control is when the character performs actions to avoid obstacles and collect items along the way. It's like Super Mario on a treadmill, drowning in musical notes of awesomeness. I've had guests over and we take turns trying to get through a level. It's fun because of how beautiful the game is in a kid's fantasy kind of way. Big puffy clouds, happy-go-lucky bad guys, the works. They nailed it all. In the beginning you have basic moves like jumping and dancing. The dancing does nothing to avoid obstacles, but it's hilarious to watch and it gives you bonus points. The other factor of this game that must be mentioned is that your actions are tied to the soundtrack that's playing as you race through the level. Jumping adds a beep, collecting an item adds a bloop, and so on. Your actions are in rhythm with the music. I guess that's why he's the rhythm alien. I just love the smooth, happy, enjoyable graphics a lot in this game. You'll miss a lot if you're playing and zoning in on what's coming next, but if you have a friend playing, then sit back and enjoy the scenery. Really soak it in. Around the halfway mark, you'll pass a red gate that becomes your new reset point for that level. Crash after that and you'll only go back there. Before it and you have to start the entire level over again. And yes, that can get as frustrating as it sounds. And that's something else to take away from this review. It's not all rainbows and bubblegum. You can be sailing along smoothly, rocking your rhythm alien groove, then hit something, lose your rhythm, and continue to fail like you can't even imagine is possible. This can be a frustrating and difficult game at times, but it's alright because that's how games should be built, to challenge you while still entertaining you. Sometimes the game goes retro by throwing you an 8-bit bonus level. It's funny because it's really the exact same game, but with 8-bit graphics. Same gameplay, same goals, same interface, but that never sits right in your brain as you stare at the 2D glory that only an 8-bit game can bring. Patience, young Padawan. If you can calmly get through a full bonus stage, kudos. It's not as easy as it might seem. To get more playable characters and costumes, the game has a little sidebar about finding keys and chests. It's a nice add-on that will have you going back and trying alternative routes to finish levels. Sometimes there's a split in the screen. One choice is easy and gets you through the level as normal. The other is harder but has a bigger payoff. And of course, what's a great game without boss fights? Runner2 keeps it interesting by reversing the direction of obstacles. Now you're running away from obstacles instead of towards them. However, as an added twist, they're being fired at you. Try not to break your controller while you play this for the first time. There's another bonus available if you can complete a full stage and collect every single piece of gold. You'll get to fire yourself out of a cannon onto a bullseye face first, total faceplant style. It's a nice bonus for completing a stage at 100%. Seeing your character's legs just dangling there is also pretty funny. All in, Bit Trip Runner2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien is a great game for everybody. It's a gamer's game, and it shows in its history and development. Now for the scorecard, where I rate the game with an arbitrary number system so complicated only me and Commander Video can understand it. Graphics, 95%, because this game is beautiful. Kids will love the bright colors and soft graphics, adults will enjoy conquering a stage with zero mistakes, and everybody will have a blast watching and playing this game. Fun factor, 95%. We've covered this well already, there's no real summary required. Replay factor, 90%. This game is challenging and will keep you coming back for more. Social factor, 85%. All in, it's a single player game, but it's fun to watch and pass the controller when you make a mistake. Cursing at the screen while you try another failed section factor, 100%. You hate it, then you beat it, then you are the champion. Like and subscribe to see more video reviews like this one, and don't let that last factor scare you off. This game is worth your time. It's totally nuts.